Sup, nerds? We're your hosts this week. I'm Chad.
And I am Jake.
This week, we're sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks.
We're also sponsored by Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce.
This week, we're going to be diving into the first 2 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, now streaming on Disney+.
We will also continue our deep dive into the Harry Potter films with Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Woohoo!
So good.
That being said, God damn it. Keep going.
Yeah.
But I literally just said to Nicole that we say that being said way too much.
Oh, do we really?
Yeah, we really do. And I
Fantastic.
just did it, proving my point. So, anyways, let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast. Sorry.
Nerd. Welcome back, nerds, to another episode of the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things that is nerd. So, Jake, how was your week this week?
My week was good. I went to the final Vikings game. It was my Christmas present from my wonderful girlfriend, Nicole.
For those of you that don't know, it was the last football game ever to be played by the Minnesota Vikings. I'm just kidding.
Ever?
Yeah, just ever. They're no longer a team.
Yeah, for the season, it was the last game of the season. It was phenomenal. She got us. Maybe I'll send you the videos and you can put it up on the website or whatever. But we were in row 8. I mean, literally 2 touchdowns happened like right in front of my eyes. It was amazing. We went with my cousin Tina and her boyfriend Jason. It was a lot of fun.
That sounds like a blast. I'm jealous. I haven't been to the new stadium yet.
The only shitty part was anytime you wanted a drink or had to go to the bathroom, you had to climb like a million stairs. My out of shape ass was burning by the time I got to the top of the stairs.
Yeah, it's good for you. Builds character, right?
Yeah. But yeah, it was so much fun. How about you?
Well, this past week has been kind of rough. I've been battling a cold or something for the past several weeks, but this week I had no voice. So we are recording this a little bit late, guys. I apologize. But we're still here. So yeah, that's all on me. All on me. I will.
No, it's not. Because I was also very hungover.
Yeah, on our normal recording day, but then
Yeah.
the couple of days past that, I could not do this. I just had no voice.
You froze.
Oh, my back?
You froze. No, you're back now. We're good.
All right.
You froze big time for a second there, though.
Sorry about that. But yeah, I finally have a voice back, which is nice. It's nice to talk at a normal volume without feeling pain. Also, I mean, we're just 1 week closer to me moving, which is fucking great. So stoked. Just a couple of weeks away now.
I know, it's crazy. I'm actually flying out there to help you move back. So It's exciting. We get to see each other like in fucking stupid Ohio for a little bit. But I actually am excited because I do get to hang out with your dad for a little bit. If you guys don't know, how would you? Chad's dad and I and Chad kind of do like a daily shot. It's
Yeah,
like
just
ritual.
about.
It's like a ritual.
At the end of all of our work days, we FaceTime
we
do a shot.
and take a shot. I'm excited to see your dad actually. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And then we drive back here. I of course will be driving the moving truck while Chad drives his dog and his car back here. And then we will crash here and move Chad into his new place, and then Chad's back in Minnesota. Woo!
Woo! Woo!
Exciting.
On a not so exciting news, we did have a couple of major celebrity comedy icon deaths.
Yeah.
Which is really, really unfortunate. I don't think we mentioned it on our last episode.
We should have.
We should have.
Yeah.
That's on us, but we did lose the great Betty White. Really unfortunate, just 16 or 17 days before her 100th birthday.
Yeah. It was the day after I found out about it. I was standing in line at the grocery store, and I think it was People magazine. It was some magazine, whatever. And it was talking about her turning 100.
I think it was either People or Life.
That they had
Life
printed before she had died, and then she passed away before.
It was the month
happened.
before. It was an interview.
It was just like, oh.
Yeah, just you should have bought one of those just to like have it.
I should have.
You probably could still find one.
Probably.
Maybe.
We love you, Betty.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
The golden girl herself.
Yeah. Which is really sad because she was the
best.
Yeah. She was like the only thing worth living for. You know? But also on top of that, this past weekend, Bob Saget also passed away.
Danny Tanner.
America's dad.
I literally grew up watching this guy.
Yeah, he was the father for so many millennials.
Yeah.
And he passed away Sunday night. We don't know a whole lot about the cause of his death, which is really sad because the night before he died, he performed a stand-up set in Orlando, Florida, and then was found dead in his hotel the next day.
Yeah.
Really, really sad. They both shaped.
Yeah.
A lot.
There's speculation to what may have happened to him, because he was on a podcast. Well, maybe I shouldn't say this. I don't want to upset people, but he was on a podcast that week talking about how he had COVID.
Mm.
And that he had beaten it, that he was over it. But as you know, the smarter people of us know, COVID can have long-term side effects, not just. Yeah. But I'm not a fucking doctor or a coroner. That could have nothing to do with it. So, but
they don't expect any sort of foul play. They don't expect any sort of
drug abuse or
overdose.
We lost him. He was amazing, and that sucks.
It is really unfortunate because, like we said, for most millennials who grew up with a babysitter called the TV, he was a lot of our fathers, or side fathers, or whatever it might be. I
don't want to get into it,
and we won't. But obviously, also just a really hilarious comedian, and never met him, but from everything that I've heard, just incredibly kind.
Yeah.
So, rest in peace to both of them.
Yeah, legends.
Absolutely. And so, other than that, any big news that happened this week? I know that when we're talking about this, you're like, I feel like I'm missing something. Did that ever come up?
It did not.
Okay. Well, then let's go ahead and get into sponsor one.
I forgot that I even said that it might come back. But yeah.
If it does, just interrupt in the middle of the episode.
Will do.
So let's go ahead and get into sponsor number one before we get into the rest of the episode. That sponsor, guys, as you have heard us talk about week in and week out, is Ray's Energy Drinks. Just an absolutely delicious energy drink. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 crash. And they have so much more than just energy drinks if that's not your thing. If you just like clean protein, good pre-workouts, protein-packed desserts with low calories, it's all there. So listen up and learn how to save 15%. We'll be right back with you to talk about the Book of Boba Fett. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Ray's Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with 0 crash. Ray's Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their Refresh formula technology,
Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
All right, guys, we're going to talk about Bubble Feet.
Bubble feet?
Boba Fett.
Bubble tea?
Episode 1 and 2 this week of Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, I mean, it's good-ish.
It's not 100% not what I expected it to be.
Yeah, I do like the opening scene is him escaping, the sandworm from Dune.
Yeah, the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah,
to avoid lawsuits.
We changed the name. But yeah, it was cool. I do like the flash. I think I like the flashbacks a little more. I got a little buzz, man.
Same.
It like just hit me. I'm like, man, why am I talking so weird? And I'm like, oh, all right, alcohol.
Excitement.
Shot. Anyways,
distilled corn that's been fermented. All right. Sorry.
So basically, they kind of like start it from where his story ends in Star Wars, and you see him flame sorting his way out of the
basically
sandworm.
Yeah, he like basically just, it was to relate it to Marvel. If you go to Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when Drax jumps inside of the beast and tries to cut his way out, imagine if he was successful.
Or like Hercules, the cartoon, the animated movie. When he gets eaten by the dragon, and he fucking like the dragon's like, oh, that's over, and he's like,
yeah,
and comes out. Yeah. For those of you who could not visually see that,
go watch us on YouTube.
I'm sorry for the sound effect I just made.
Don't be. But
anyways, yeah. So he basically,
he fights his way out, and what's really cool, but also you kind of from the inside, you also have to be kind of prepared for it. Is they jump between 2 different timelines for the show so far. Yeah. The post Mandalorian. That starts from the cutscene at the end of season 2, and then everything that happened before the Mandalorian. Yeah. Or at least subsequently with the first season, before Boba goes and rescues Fennec Shand, who is played by Ming-Na Wen. Yeah. And God, I love her.
Yeah, her character is the same character that it is in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. She doesn't talk a lot. She's a badass. She's hot, but a little bit older.
Hot?
I think that Ming-Na Wen is
really
fine. Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, good for you.
You know what? I stand by it. I'm not going to take that back.
Don't take it back.
I think that Ming-Na Wen is gorgeous.
Yeah,
and
I don't think she's
kicks
like
ass. Oh yeah, no, I will take it a step further. She is hot.
I'm not saying that I don't find her attractive. You said she's fine, which is like,
I think she's fine.
Yeah, that's up there.
She's fine, bro. Okay.
Basically, she plays the same character. She's kind of an unruly.
She's Agent
bitch.
Melinda May.
Yeah,
That's fine.
she can fight. She's kind of cunty,
But like in a very
likable way.
likable way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you're rooting for her even though she's
yeah,
being a bitch.
yeah.
You're like she knows what she's doing. She has a plan.
Yeah.
Just
It's almost like Disney did both of these shows or something.
they didn't do Agents of Shield. That was ABC.
They didn't?
Nope.
Ah, fuck me.
Good try. I won't let you take this from me. That's how great she is.
Whatever. That's even worse then. They like just copy and pasted her to fucking Boba Fett then.
Yeah, it's Disney and Star Wars. I mean, you think that Tatooine happened completely originally?
No, they did it on Dune first.
Yeah, George Lucas read the book of Dune and then changed a couple of things, and then they're like, "No, we're gonna make Dune into a movie and do it right."
This until like yesterday or 2 days ago when I
a couple days ago. Yeah,
I did not know that Star Wars, this blows my mind, is the biggest ripoff in the entire world.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the original trilogy, not to get like historical fiction on you, is very much a ripoff of like the Russian rumors about like the whole slaughtering of the Tsar family and then like them coming back to throw over communism. Like, you know, the movie Anastasia.
I don't remember it. I remember the name and like she like runs a lot.
It's a direct comparison.
Is she Tom Cruise?
He could probably play her. The height's right. No, just for as much as I love Star Wars, and Star Wars was like the gateway for me into the nerd world because my mom was a huge Star Wars fan and she introduced it to me. Star Wars is very much not original. And it breaks my heart to admit that.
I couldn't believe you admitted it to me. So here's what happened. while watching, this is like kind of off topic, but while I was watching Book of Boba Fett, there are two people in my life that are bigger nerds about Star Wars than I'm a nerd about anything. And it's Chad and my cousin Marty. And I texted when I saw the two in the second episode, they mention the spice, which is a huge Dune reference. Mm-hmm. They also mention the fuck was it?
The Dune Sea.
Oh my god. The what?
The Dune Sea.
Oh, the Dune Sea. Yeah, they literally say Dune in it. And I was like, it's just a reference. I sent those messages I sent to you. I like sent in like unison with my cousin. And both of you were just like, yeah. And then I was like, so I looked it up. And it turns out that Star Wars was completely a ripoff of Dune. And they show all these similarities. I forwarded this email to Chad and my cousin Marty, proving that it was all the similarities and like it was a total ripoff. And they both were like, "Oh yeah, totally, yeah, it's a ripoff." And I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck. I thought you guys were going to argue with me." Like
my original argument was that they weren't directly referencing Dune because probably legally they can't.
Yeah.
But and then we were like, yeah, but it's like a total ripoff. And I was like, oh yeah. Like it's not original.
Yeah.
Like,
and now that Disney has a hold of, and like you mentioned, Dune wasn't a Disney.
Yeah, it was Warner Brothers.
But yeah, fucking crazy.
It's disappointing because like, had I been introduced to Dune first, like, would I be more of a Star Trek fan?
Yeah.
Probably.
No, because what Dune was the Dune movie back in the day. It was only the one. Yeah, it was only one movie.
Yeah, but
They didn't
I
have
mean, that
like
came out after Star Wars.
yeah,
But Star Wars is
but the
based off of the
books, yeah,
book, and then
yeah.
it's also ripped off of a sci-fi comic. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. It's off of like a 5-book series, like comic
Yeah.
that
So
basically covers
I
everything that Dune didn't. Like
yeah.
Star Wars is just not original.
I do encourage you guys to watch Dune, especially the new one with Timothy Chalamet.
Shalama.
Chalamet.
Shamana ding dong.
Anyways, that's way off topic. I just thought it was funny that both of you had the same response. I was kind of trying to get a rise out of the two of you by doing that. 'cause
You
I
did
thought
it
you would, like,
first with me. I
thought
don't know
you guys
about
would,
Marty.
Like, argue. I thought you guys would like argue with me, and both of you were like, "Oh yeah, totally, it's a ripoff."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, fuck."
You did with
Now,
me at
now
you did
what
with
am I
me
gonna
at
do for the next
first,
30 minutes.
and I was like, "It's not a direct reference." And then you like send me the link. And you're like, "Is Star Wars original?" I was like, "No, it's not." And then you're like, "Fuck." I was like, "I was just debating your original reference." That's
Yeah,
it.
and then I had to watch TV for 30 minutes instead of arguing with you guys. It was lame.
Oh man,
Oh man.
sucks when you win.
Anyways,
It's almost like you don't have 4 years to like argue about how you're right. What?
I didn't want to be right. I just wanted to get a rise out of you guys. I don't give a shit about. I don't know. You would school me in Star Wars any day of the week. I love Star Wars.
I
don't
love
get
how
me
you
wrong.
just ignored my political joke
Wait, what did you
Well-
say? I missed it. Sorry.
about it's almost like you wanted to argue for 4 years about how you won.
Oh. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I missed it because that's funny.
I know, right?
I was just saying in general, like I know that you and Marty would both destroy me in Star Wars. I'm a nerd. I love Star Wars, but you guys are like way more. Comics were my thing. Star Wars was your thing. And so I thought when I sent you that message I was gonna piss you off and like get an argument out of it. And it didn't happen. And I was like, well shit, now what am I gonna
It's because
watch?
we know our Star Wars.
Yeah.
But
Anyways.
so with that being said,
You did it! Oh, we gotta start doing
Oh,
like a
I
drink.
did.
Every time we do it, you gotta
okay,
take a drink.
yeah, I'm down with that.
We gotta get a hold of that.
We do, because that is like our generic transition phrase. But we do get to see a lot more of the Tusken Raiders in this series, which is cool because like they were always depicted as like just savages, right?
Yeah.
They walk like men, but they're not. It's like,
Yeah.
well, no shit, because it's a fucking alien planet.
Do your impression. Do your impression. Oh my God.
I'm not ashamed.
You shouldn't be. That's good. That's a good impression.
Without, I can go to the back of the room and do it loudly,
No,
and
don't do it.
it'll sound better. But we get a lot. We actually get to see a lot more of like the complexities of the Tusken Raiders, which is hinted at in the second season of The Mandalorian. You know, how they communicate, how they barter, how they like, you know, set up trades and stuff like that. And we find out that they're actually very complex characters that are very tribal family. You know, they're not just sand people that capture people and slaughter them for Anakin Skywalker to come and kill everyone else because of it. Like,
Yeah.
we get a more in-depth description of them, which I really enjoy. And that's one of the timelines. Is basically the Tuskens find Boba Fett as he's on his deathbed, basically after escaping the Sarlacc pit, and how he gains their trust and like becomes a part of their tribe over the first couple of episodes. And it's really enjoyable. I really like it.
Yeah. Keep talking.
Oh, like it, Boba does a lot of like teaching them about.
Star Wars is your thing.
Yeah.
I'll tag in when I want to get something
Okay.
across, but I'm gonna kind of just let you.
Yeah, Boba is teaching them a lot about like the way of the machines, as they say. Like others have machines, we don't, and he teaches them a lot about the way of the machines. They teach him a lot about like the way of the Dune Sea, like how they exist, and it really kind of like creates this balance where you're like, this is like a whole society that exists that like we got nothing from. Unless you like were a nerd and like read books and stuff like that about Star Wars, like I'm not gonna admit to it, but I did, and it's really enjoyable. We also see that when it flashes to the modern, it's still a galaxy far, far away, but like the most current
Modern
time,
times, yeah.
the most current time in the show is, Boba has also taken up Jabba the Hutt's old position and taken over his palace as kind of like the crime lord of this region of Tatooine, which is basically Arrakis from Dune. It has 2 suns. It's a lot of sand. It used to be covered in water, but now it's not. And now the only things that are worth mining there are spice and water.
Spice.
In this, spice
The
is like
spice.
drugs. In Dune, it's drugs
To
with
be-
a spiritual twist.
To be
aka
clear,
peyote.
it's not Tom Brady's poop.
Not the spice.
The spice.
It's like turmeric with paprika sprinkled in there. Just a little bit of a kick.
I actually have a problem with I watched both these episodes. I thought they were good. I enjoyed them. I have no problem with the acting. I have no problem with. I actually have 2 problems, and I know that you cleared up one of them for me, but it still bugs me slightly.
Do
The
that
blue
1 second
elephant.
so I can try and do it for the other listeners who might have it. What's your first problem?
My first problem is not Mandalorian. Sorry, Boba Fett's fucking teeth. He's got these ridiculous veneers, and good for him. Good for him. When I get old, I need that shit too. But they fucking stick out like a sore thumb. It's all I can fucking look at.
They are pristine and perfect.
It is. He looks like fucking Steve-O. Like
Steve-O on his top mouth, that from his smile, only one of them is removable.
no, now
Yeah.
Steve-O's entire.
Yeah,
fucking
but
shit
most
is
of them
removed.
they're actually implants instead
Oh
of.
yeah.
He just
Well,
has
no.
1 tooth that he can remove.
Yeah. I'm saying that I assume.
Oh, they're all
I would
veneers,
I would assume all of them are implants. That's what I would do. But they're.
Steve-O has one that they couldn't fully cap, so it's on a retainer.
I'm talking about Boba.
Oh, for.
I assume he's
God,
not
what's
wearing
his name? It's
dentures.
like
I assume they're
Tamura.
like implants or
He
whatever.
has a
But
very New Zealand name.
he's got fucking just these ridiculous veneers, and it's all I can look at when I'm watching the show.
0 grime in between the teeth. At least for
And
the
he's-
show, you think
and
they're
he's always
veneers, so like
making-
you can like.
And he's always making this face in the. Sorry for those of you who are listening. Listen with your eyes here. He's always making this face in the fucking show. He's always like,
Yeah, he does a lot of showing off of the teeth.
it's like we get it, man. You got some fucking porcelains in there, but like,
It's because in New Zealand, he's like super fucking famous.
I know, but like,
So like, no, like he's like he would be like close to an A-list celebrity like in the rest of the world, but like more so there. So like, of course he like went balls to the wall with like the best veneers that he could, and now he's like, look,
yeah.
they do stick out. I think that he's a great actor, and
Yeah,
I love
like
him.
I said
but,
that
like,
before I even brought up the teeth.
No, I
have
know,
no
and
problem with
I'm
the
agreeing
acting.
with you, but they could have
The teeth are wild.
toned it down, or, I mean, if they are veneers, like put a tooth cap in there to like
Yeah.
do something so, because his teeth, for those of you that know anything about video editing or photo editing, his teeth are the white balance.
Yeah.
Like they use that to find the white. That's just what it is.
Oh man.
What's
Now I
your
feel bad.
what's your second? It was funny. He's still great. I mean, he's
The-
also Aquaman's dad, so like
The blue elephant. The blue elephant. I understand that it was the exact same costume.
literal blue elephant. I was like, why are you saying blue elephant? I think you mean elephant in the room. No, I know what you mean now.
Yeah. In the cantina, right?
Yeah, the
keyboard player is in this. It's a blue elephant, and it's supposed to be an alien. And I understand that in the original Star Wars films, it's the same costume. But it is literally I have dog toys that look more realistic than that fucking blue elephant costume. And I was watching it and I was like, oh, this is dog shit. This is dog shit. But I do enjoy it.
It's
so far.
one of those practical effects that is not CGI because it's for fanfare. But it does stick out because like everything else looks so much better.
I think I
And then
literally
that one
sent
is,
it to you and I was like, this show's terrible.
You did.
But
and then I explained
again,
it.
Just to get a rise out of you, I actually have enjoyed the past 2 episodes. So I just like to pick on you.
It is not the Western action sort of show that we expected.
So far, it's only
because of the Mandalorian. This feels very much more like a mafia crime drama like sort of show. It's still so great.
We get a little bit of we get something. Sorry, I'm like almost hiccuping, trying to hold it back. We get this healing chamber type thing.
Yeah.
That Boba Fett is going to. We also know
very
that
regularly.
We also know that Boba Fett was in like the stomach acid of the
the Sarlacc.
The sandworm.
Yes, the Sarlacc.
And so the stomach acid burned him. You do get to see he's like very burned all over his body.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I will say what I'm going to say, and then you kind of make the point you made earlier. Is that I would assume that the healing chamber is for those burns, but then Chad made a shocking discovery.
I think it's more past the burns that it like damaged his insides.
Yeah. No. Say what you were saying about how in Mando he didn't.
Yeah, and that was another thing. Also, was like I don't know where. I mean, we didn't see this healing tank. They call it like I think they call it a band tank.
Whatever.
It's very similar to what we see Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back while he's still on Hoth, but this is more like a portable version of it. But we don't see that in like the Mandalorian. Like it must have been if Boba Fett was using it, it was on his ship, but we don't see it in the Mandalorian. And now that it's like a huge part of the Book of Boba Fett, it kind of creates like a little bit of a plot hole. It's like his go-to, like in the second episode, he gets like attacked in the streets. Is immediately like, "Get me back to the healing tank."
Yeah.
And it's like is he that damaged? Like, are they going to explain that? Because, like, we didn't have to deal with that in The Mandalorian, even though, like, Boba Fett was a pretty big component of, like, half of that season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, what's going on? I think outside of, like, the physical burns, I think that there's a lot of internal damage that was done by the Sarlacc that we're starting to see, like, how much it actually weighed on Boba. But it's still confusing because it's like when we're introduced to the character for, like, several episodes, like, this was not it was not a thing. We don't know.
Oh my God.
What?
Your voice just went, I don't know, you must have slowed down or like the thing, but you just sounded like fucking Lucifer. You're like, you don't know. I was like, that was creepy.
Hoping it did not happen on my recording. Then maybe you'll sound crazy. Or if people hear it, even better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's also, so to wrap up these 2 episodes, a couple things happen. We get to see Jabba's brother and sister.
Yep.
Or cousin and sister or something.
Someone in his family, part of the Hutt Empire. They just refer to them as the twins. They're basically trying to lay claim over Jabba's territory because of family.
Yeah.
But then also because of that, we get to see another Wookiee, which is cool.
Oh, yeah, the black and gray Wookiee.
Oh, I feel really bad. I should know that this Wookiee's name. But basically, he's...
it's kind of what I'm going for with the black and gray, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah. You beat me to it, you fucker. I was totally going to do it. Oh my God.
But we do get a glimpse at this other Wookiee who's basically now like a hired hand for the twins to be like their champion gladiator bounty hunter. Basically what Boba was to Jabba.
I'm sorry I'm not over. I'm trying.
No, it's fine. And we get some tense interactions between them. And we're also introduced to
the mayor.
Oh, thank you. As I was burping. Yes, the mayor.
The mayor. He is basically a snail on a human body.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Can I be crass for a moment to explain what he looks like?
I would be upset if you weren't.
Okay. So imagine you're in 8th grade and you get a diagram in front of you as to what the human vagina looks like. Turn that into a mask and put eyes, where it makes sense. That is the general shape of this dude's head. Like, I'm sorry, Mom, but this dude looks like a vagina. The inside of a vagina.
I almost just... I'm not gonna.
Was gross about it?
Nope, I'll tell you after.
Okay. Okay. See, guys, my voice is still not 100% there, clearly. But we get to meet the mayor, who is clearly just as shady as everyone else on Tatooine. We'll see where that goes. He basically tries to tell Boba, like, oh, I did not try and kill you and send this assassin after you. It must have been the Hutts.
Yeah.
And then that's when we're introduced to the twins.
Yeah.
And then the twins are like, we didn't do it. You got to ask yourself, who would want to kill you?
Yeah. Basically everybody.
Yeah, basically everybody, because Boba Fett has no real claim to the territory. To the
territory. The territory.
The turtle story. You're right.
Territory.
Oh, that's like... Oh my
this is
God.
getting hard to listen to.
I know. We got to get through this quickly. I'm sorry.
There's also, at the end of this episode, basically, I keep almost calling him Mando, but Boba Fett, basically with the Tuscan people. Was it Raiders?
Raiders, the Tuscan
Raiders.
Raiders.
Yeah, they make him do lizard cocaine, and
Where the cocaine is literally a lizard.
yeah, they just like open this like basket and a lizard just like fucking like thrusts itself into his nose.
Did you have to say it that way? Like,
Yes, it thrusted itself. It forced itself into his nose over and over again, and then he had some hallucinations from it, and
he basically was lent.
got a tree branch.
Yeah, he was sent on basically a peyote journey to find the Tuscan mother tree. Got a branch from it, brought it back, and made his own gaffy stick, which is the Tuscan Raider like weapon of choice. It's pretty cool. Yeah. It was basically him being accepted and acknowledged by the Tuscan Raiders as an actual Tuscan, someone who's worthy of their way of life.
Yeah.
Instead of just being a slave.
It was cool.
We also skipped over a bunch of like action scenes, which were incredible. But we don't want to give away everything. We want you guys to go watch this because for the handful of things that we talked down on, like the show is actually really enjoyable, and it does have some action in it for how dramatic the show is. So brown chicken, brown cow.
Well, all right, sorry. What kind of action are you talking about?
You know, all the action.
Anyways, we're done here. We got to go on a sponsor too.
And who is that?
That is Crybaby Craig's hot sauce. It's a pickled and pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce. I told you I'm a little drunk.
Yeah, clearly, because you can't even like articulate a Oxford comma in verbal.
And it goes on practically anything. Shit's good, man. I eat it on fucking everything, honestly.
It's bomb.
Yeah. Put it in your fucking Bloody Mary. That shit'll turn your world upside down. Listen up. We'll tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today.
All right, guys. Now what we're going to do is we're going to continue our throwback dive into the Harry Potter films and series with Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
Harry Potter and the Order of the Penis.
Absolutely. Favorite movie of all time. Not the Harry Potter one, the parody.
Sorry, I figured.
Sorry, Mom.
I'm not. I'm sorry.
No. Before we get into it, I mean, this is probably like where it kind of turns to be like a darker film.
Yeah.
But I also really enjoy this. It was a really.
It's a little bit slower of a movie, but the tone changes quite a bit.
It's also the longest book.
No.
It's the only one that breaks 1,000 pages.
Oh.
So I mean, it kind of makes sense that it's a slower pace because it deals a lot more with the emotional state of the characters more than anything else. With that being said,
Jesus Christ!
Oh my God, I did not mean to do that.
Take a drink.
Oh my God, this is gonna break that phrase out of my mind. until I'm in the
Right.
mood to get hammered.
Right.
And then it's
That
gonna be
being
my-
said, no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
you
I'm
said it.
kidding.
You created the rule. Take another drink.
I did.
But
the
no.
opening of this film, I love the opening of this film because it's a little weird because Terry is just like hanging out on a swing by himself, and it's like, wow, okay, right. But
also remember, he's supposed to be 15 at this time. So like,
I,
did you ever not just like go to the park and like sit at a playground and like listen to music?
I slept there a few times when my mom kicked me out of the house.
Wow, that got sad. That got real fast.
Anyways,
Cool. I mean,
Basically-
are you okay? Are you talking to anybody right now?
talking to you guys.
Yeah, it's not the same. We're not licensed.
The Harry and his D-bag cousin get attacked in the real world, in the Muggle world, by Dementors, which is not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Which is insane. It's a really cool scene, and even though Harry's cousin is being a total asshole to him, Harry tries to save him. Well, it does save him. Sorry, but yeah, it's this is like the coolest opening to one of the Harry Potter movies, I think.
Oh, easily.
Yeah,
It really does show the bridge that like Harry has between like the Muggle world and the Wizarding world, because they quite literally attack each other.
yeah. Oh shit! And he has to, in order to save Dudley. I don't know why.
I don't know why you did it. That's his name.
Yeah.
It's just a
Dudley.
dumbass name.
Why? In order to save Dudley, he had to use a spell and his wand to save him.
No, from his
which-
wand. Sorry.
his wand, which is strictly forbidden by the wizardry people.
Yeah, by the Ministry of Magic.
Drunk.
They strictly
I have gone from damn, I feel good to I'm drunk.
to strictly forbode the use of magic in front of non-magical people. And then I went full NPR against you.
AKA Muggles.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to use, not even supposed to use it in the Muggle world, let alone in front of Muggles.
Yeah, they're not supposed to use magic outside of school or
Yeah.
outside of the direct supervision of what they call like educators. Basically the people that... Is it because I'm using finger quotes that you did that? Yeah. Basically, Harry broke the law in order to save his cousin, and then is charged with a crime because of
And
it.
gets put on trial for it in the non-Muggle world, the wizard
The
world.
Wizarding world, which is what the franchise is called now. The Wizarding world of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I don't know why I emphasize that.
We get to meet Chad's favorite character.
Are you talking about Dolores Uncunt? I mean, Umbridge?
The lady in pink.
She's just the absolute worst.
Yeah.
So I know that in recent days, and by recent I mean forever, we refer to these people as Karens. This is a magical Karen.
Yeah.
It's
She doesn't have the
terrible.
Super Saiyan haircut, but
But she magically wants to talk to your manager. And by magically wants to talk to her, she wants to magically become your manager so she can just do whatever the fuck she wants. She's the absolute worst.
at Harry's trial, we get to see Dumbledore comes there to speak on Harry's behalf.
And that's about it. Like, doesn't interact with Harry. Shows up, like, from a dark hallway because this courtroom has, like, 37 entrances. shows up and is like, "This is ridiculous." Drops the mic and then leaves.
Yeah.
And Harry's like, "Professor," and he's like, "Peace."
Didn't hear ya.
Basically, this entire film is Dumbledore just ignoring the fuck out of Harry
Oh,
from
sad.
start to finish.
And then
Sorry,
What?
sorry, that took a
What?
second for it to register, and when it did, I got really, really upset.
basically nobody in the movie believes Harry that Voldemort is back. Particularly the Minister of Magic, Fudge.
Cornelius Fudge.
Yeah.
With a name like that, you should just, I don't know, kill yourself. Sorry, it's just a dumbass name. Like, it has the word corn and fudge in it. Like, he's a turd.
Yeah.
Like, could the transphobic J.K. Rowling done any more to just mask the fact that she's writing about a piece of shit? Sorry, I got heated.
That's
there.
okay.
Oh my god.
There's a part of this movie that I wanted to point out is that when Harry finally does meet up with, because in all of the other films, in the openings, that's like one of the first things that happens is Harry and Ron and Hermione meet up. And in this one, he doesn't. And when he finally does, they're like, "Oh my God, we miss you," and blah, blah, blah. And Harry kind of snaps on him and he's like, "The fuck didn't you like write me?"
Could have written.
Yeah. And then they're like, "I'm sorry," and he's like, "Whatever."
This is the not to use a very biblical phrase, but this is the Pentecostal teenage angst film in the series. Shut up, Siri.
I was like, "What?
Sorry, my
Who that?
Siri started
Who that?
talking.
Who that? Who there?"
Who dat? No, like this is just like the Pentecostal, the epitome of like teenage angst in the Harry Potter films. Basically, Harry is just like a douche for the sake of emotions for a lot of the film.
Yeah.
So like when he meets up with Ron and
When he
Hermione.
meted up?
Shut up. We are both drunk. Do not speak out against
We gotta
my slurs.
get through this.
Then don't talk out against my slurs, bitch. When he finally like reconnects with like Ron and Hermione, like they're like, "We miss you. We're so happy to see you." And he's like, "Well, where the fuck have you been?" And basically at that point in time, he's not reintroduced, but like he sees Sirius Black, his godfather, but is also introduced to the Order of the Phoenix, which is the anti-Voldemort fighters. Basically, they're the people that are fighting against Voldemort instead of just like following, whoever's in charge. It's weird how that's like super relatable, in the world.
Bah.
Oh, I'm not a sheeple, you fuckbag.
I'm not calling you.
I know you're not, but I'm just responding the way that someone who would take offense to that would. If that was your initial response, go get vaccinated. Oh my God, this is
Where are we? What is happening?
This is easily our most politically influenced episode ever. Welcome to 2022 with the All Things Nerd podcast.
Yeah, we're the all things nerdy political podcast. Umbridge takes over the school.
She really does, and it's not great.
We gotta get through this.
She takes up the position of defense against the dark arts, and then just is like, "Oh, that means I'm in charge," and it's almost like Snape could have been like for all these years, like, "Oh, I'm the potions master. Oh, so I run this bitch," and he didn't, but she did. And it's not great. She basically just like brutally tortures a lot of the students by like making them like go to detention where she just like gives them a magical quill that just like carves shit into
made them do exactly what they were gonna do anyways. They're a bunch of emo kids and they cut themselves. She just put words on it.
Wow. I didn't know My Chemical Romance co-wrote this book. Oh,
Jesus Christ.
yeah. I mean, you went straight to like generic like Hawthorne Heights branded razor blades, and I did not.
Ohio's for lovers.
Not for long, motherfucker. No, but Umbridge is just first off the worst. She tortures the students. Basically, they try and make it seem like, oh, all of Hogwarts is trying to fight back, but really it's like Gryffindor House and then Cho and Luna, and that's it.
Yeah.
Decide to fight back by basically creating their own like school within the school. They find like a magical room. It's called the Room of Requirements. It'll come up later, probably when we're less drunk. And they probably not. They use that as like a teaching grounds to learn actually how to like use magic, because Umbridge is just the worst. And it's like, you don't need to use magic. You just need to pass a test. Yeah. Because no child left behind.
But Harry
God,
is...
I did it again. Just went straight fucking political.
Harry is the teacher. He's the one showing them. Because they're like, hey, you actually fought
Well, most of the students were like, oh, if Voldemort's really back, tell us more about how Cedric Diggory died. And he's like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And then Luna was like, is it true you can produce a Patronus charm? Which is like super advanced. And people are like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Is your name Steph Curry? What? Let's do this shit.
Man, we have so much to get through here.
We're going to skip a lot of this. This movie's fantastic. I feel terrible because this is honestly like one of both of ours. No, both of our favorite Harry Potter films.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
But also it's one of our drunkest. We took a couple extra days so that I could not be
Let's go
sick.
like Cliff Notes here. All right, we see Nagini. We know Nagini is Voldemort's
giant python. If you guys have, we probably it says giant cock. I don't know if we're ever gonna get into. Are we ever gonna talk about the Fantastic Beasts films? Should we? Should we not? You say this now, and then I'll just
probably be like a follow up. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm not gonna talk about this. So Nagini is like his giant snake. Sorry for this.
I'm trying not to laugh, but you're being weird about it.
Sorry. No, Nagini is a giant python that is basically Voldemort's pet. Slash better bodyguard than Peter Pettigrew. Who's not trying to be weird? Yeah, thought so.
Too late now.
But we see Nagini like attack Ron's dad inside the Ministry of Magic
through Harry's
eyes. This is how we learn that Harry has a connection to Voldemort. It's not fully explained at this point in time, but basically they have a connection basically because in the last film, Voldemort used Harry's blood to create a corporeal body for himself.
Yeah.
So now they kind of like share visions back and forth. We get to see a little bit of Professor Snape trying to teach Harry how to not give into these visions. But ultimately it leads to Harry seeing a vision of Voldemort torturing Sirius Black, who is his godfather, Gary Oldman, who now Harry is like attached to because enough time has passed.
It's his only family left.
Yeah, it's his only living family.
Yeah.
So Harry, Ron, Hermione, Luna, and Neville, right? Is that it? And Ginny. And Ginny Weasley. All basically go to the Ministry of Magic to fight Voldemort to save Sirius. It turns out Sirius was never there to begin with.
Yeah,
Voldemort was just fucking with him. Yeah, just using a deep fake, if you will. And it's quite intense. I mean, we do get like this whole final showdown.
Or you mean like a final? Oh, I'm ashamed of that.
I'm not. But basically, we get to this final thing where we're finally introduced to also like Bellatrix Lestrange. She's been mentioned previously. She's basically the person responsible for Neville's parents like being tortured to like catatonic state.
Yeah.
We also learn that she is the cousin of Sirius Black. But we get introduced to her by Helena Bonham Carter, and I don't care what anyone says. I love Helena Bonham Carter. I think that she's just fantastic. I think that she's beautiful. Not quite.
Don't get me twisted.
Not quite Ming Na Wen. Foyne, but like she. Since I first saw the movie Fight Club, like she's been a celebrity crush.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love her as an actress. The attraction, I do not understand.
They gave her some weird ass teeth in this movie.
She
is quite beautiful.
Anyways.
I stand by it. I'm not going to argue. But she ends up
unaliving.
I should not laugh because this is such an emotional scene.
She unalives Sirius Black.
Yeah, she cancels his subscription to Life. But actually, the scene, because they cut out so much.
Very emotional. Yeah.
They cut out so much of the actual like dialogue of like anguish and pain. And it's just like cinematic. It is a really emotional scene. But she kills Sirius Black. Harry goes after her. When the dialogue cuts back in, she's running down a hallway of the Ministry of Magic, being like, "I killed Sirius Black," like making like a lullaby almost out of it. And Harry hits her with the Cruciatus Curse. And as far as I'm concerned, like no one is talking about this. He calls out Crucio, which is the Cruciatus Curse, which is one of the unforgivable curses.
It's the curse that she used on Neville's parents.
It's the torture curse that basically, if you use it for too long, it just like fries. It's a lobotomy. It's a lobotomy curse, basically.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, good for you, Harry." And
but I mean, she is scum. Like, whatever.
I mean,
she's
hot garbage. I
know you think she's hot, but she is garbage.
Yeah. Touche. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But during that, Voldemort finally appears. As he's about to attack Harry, Dumbledore appears.
Yeah. There's a snuggle struggle for sure.
That's fucking gross. But according to a certain, let's just say JKR, or a certain JKR. I don't want to use the other.
What were you gonna say?
We have friends with this name that most people especially with like, I was gonna say a certain Joe. But we have a.
I thought you were gonna say Jew.
Oh my God, no!
I was like, "What are you doing, bro?" We were like, "We're pretty like." PC
oh my God,
normally.
no! It's just that for those of you guys that have seen like the reunion,
Oh.
no one refers to her as J.K. Rowling anymore because it's
Yeah.
too recognizable. So they just call her Joe because of how controversial and transphobic and not PC that she's become.
I gotcha. You scared me. I was like, dude, what are you doing? You're gonna have to cut that out.
No, I would never. I would never because that's
What do you see it? Because you like stopped yourself at.
J. Yeah,
J.
I get that now.
And I was
Yeah.
like, J? What? J? What?
And then
talking
you
about,
went to like the most offensive thing that I could say with a J sound. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
No. People just refer to her as Joe because they don't want to refer to her by her full name because then she gets credit for it.
Yeah, because she sucks. Yeah.
Which is terrible because, like, I mean, not because of what she believes because she's wrong, but because, like, she wrote these books that we all grew up on and then turned into movies that we also grew up on in our later years.
And then she turned out to be
Terrible.
Dun, dun,
Big cunt. I'm not sorry, Mom. If you hear
not
that,
on that
I'm
one.
not sorry. But so Voldemort comes back. Dumbledore and Voldemort have a fight.
Yeah. Dumbledore fights the big V. Venereal disease.
It's not great. But eventually the VD
He
disappears.
loses. He loses.
No, the VD loses because he's like, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. I'm done. All right, bye, guys. All right, I'm sorry. We're almost done. I'm so sorry.
But as Voldemort is like losing and having like a conversation with Harry while he's losing, the Minister of Magic, Cornelius Fudge, corn poop.
He shows up.
Corn poop shows up and is like, oh my God, he's back. I was wrong. And then basically that realistically is the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really not because they always end like on a happy note with like,
I'm like,
hey, the core characters that like care about each other and love each other like have small dialogue, even though the movie ended already. They're just gonna like wrap up small details. It's like a post-credit scene before the credits. Just like, this is what happened. Uh-huh. But that's basically how this movie ends.
yep.
Is Harry and Voldemort have been not Voldemort. Harry and Dumbledore have been vindicated that Voldemort is back, and then the movie ends.
Yeah.
And as is life, it moves on.
Yeah, and so did this episode
Yeah.
of
So
our podcast.
yeah, So
We're so sorry.
oh no, we're still pretty good on time. But with that
No,
being
I'm
said,
sorry
we
for being as drunk as we are.
don't be. It's the start of the new year. We're taking it back to the roots, but still being slightly mindful of the time.
Really,
Instead of going 2 hours, we're only an hour and 10 minutes.
talking about how hot Henry Cavill is. Like our first episode.
Oh my God, we talk
just-
so much.
We're like, yeah, Superman. Oh, Henry Cavill. Ugh.
He get it. But so that's the end
love
of
you guys.
this episode. We are going to go ahead and close out this episode.
That being said, I'm keeping it. But before we do, we just hold on. We just wanted to say we love you guys. Thank you for supporting us. We have our Patreon page. You guys can check us out there. You can check us out on our website. Chad will obviously remember that better than I will.
Yeah, if you just go to the links below or on any of our social media pages, it gives you a list of where you can support us. So if you like what we're doing, check us out. Like Jake said, on our Patreon page, it's a monthly giving. You get bonus material. It's a great way to support us. Also, we have our web store. And then also just sharing this with your friends and family that, appreciate what we do, I guess. Maybe don't show your grandparents. Unless they're super cool. But, at the end of the day, I mean, it just comes down to, these are the conversations that Jake and I have regardless. And the
Yeah.
fact that you guys listen just means the world to us. So thank you so much. We love you. And this has been the All Things Nerd Podcast. Once Jake grabs his shot, this has been the All Things Nerd Podcast.